Yeah. This is got to be one of my favorite topics, but I'll be honest, it's no fun having this guy in the same room.
Is that true?
Okay.
Is that true?
Here, I'm Sicilian. It comes with the package. See? I'm joking. No, Tomas is one of my favorite speakers. I listen to all his, I make jokes about with the name of Mindset Monday. I'm like, motivational, what are you doing over the weekend?
Mm-hmm.
No, but I love to hear him speak. I'm super critical of him.
Yes.
Of course. Husbands, we know how that works.
No, but really, I'm his biggest fan. I'm gonna throw this on this side just in case I run out of battery. Because I'm long-winded and I'm back to the whole Sicilian part. Did I tell you that?
Mm-hmm. So let me introduce my beautiful wife here. Number one, I just want to say thank you. Tony, thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity. When Cynthia and I were talking about what we could do at retreat, I said, listen, I want to wait for retreat because my wife has been putting together a presentation that I really think is going to impact, and it's going to really bring something that not only can you use it for your own life, but this is going to bring value to your clients. This is going to be something that you can, the conversation starters that you're going to be able to have from this conversation, I really think are going to bring so much value to what you're doing and what you're and how you're interacting with your clients. And so my wife and I met in 1995 at a quinceañera in San Antonio, Texas. It was not her quinceañera, just so y'all know. It was not her quinceañera, all right? And from the moment that we met and then we started courting and talking, I knew that we would be in business together, and I knew we'd be married, and I knew it would be amazing. And I'm super pumped to share the stage with her anytime. And as Gabe said, as we're driving in, Gabe's like, man, I like it when you guys speak together. It's really, really cool. And so I'm really excited to introduce her. She is the love of my life, but more importantly, she's one heck of a mom, and she's an amazing wife for me. And so we have a son, Enzo, that's 10. I've told you all about my little man, Enzo. And the gentleman that he is has a lot to do with how great of a mama you are. So with that, let's give her a round of applause and get started with Choosing Joy.
So I heard your previous class was intentional living, which I love that idea because this is just going to be a perfect segue into what we're talking about right now. Choosing joy, it doesn't just come naturally, especially for Sicilians, but I want to talk about this subject because like Tomas mentioned, it really does play into your everyday life of whatever you're doing, your home life, and also with your client's life. You'll see how that kind of translates later. So I want to talk about me because Sicilians love to talk about ourselves. And it wasn't my quinceañera because, you know, I don't even, just to talk about the quinceañera, can I please? I thought I moved from Chicago to San Antonio, and I thought people in San Antonio are marrying their kids at 15 years old. What is happening? That was my first quinceañera. I mean, she was wearing what looked like a bridal gown. She had a receiving party, the whole thing, and I thought, I gotta get out of here, right?
Quickly.
So the green-eyed, handsome Puerto Rican in the background, and that was many years ago. And this December, we celebrate 20 years married. So
yeah.
I attribute that personally to a lot of time together.
That's right.
Time is my love language. I'm not sure if you know your love language. That's important. Knowing how to fight, but also make up. And really good extracurricular activities. You're all adults. Figure that one out. So, as I mentioned, I'm a wife to a handsome Puerto Rican, type A personality most of the time, and not a minimalist. I know some of you kind of hint at what this conversation is going to be like today, and I want you to know this is a conversation, okay? But I am not a minimalist. I have lots of stuff in my house. I don't own only 2 pairs of, shirts, 3 pairs of pants, and 2 pairs of shoes. I do own a full set of everything. So I'm by no means a minimalist, so I don't want you to get the wrong idea today. I am a constant organizer. organizer of things. I do love, if you have a messy closet, even like an office supply closet, I want to come and straighten it out. It's just my personality.
So I gotta share one great story about my amazing wife, because we marry opposites, right? Isn't that the way it works, right? So
Wait,
Spurs.
that's a good one. Did you hear what he said?
Yeah.
Repeat that.
We marry opposites. Yeah. And so.
Not organized.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not organized at all. That's the truth. But so I have to tell the story just so you understand the full the understanding of this. Her wanting to organize things. So Spurs are in the championship, right? This is the playoffs. We invite everybody to our apartment. We have all these friends watching the game, and I mean it's fourth quarter. The game is close. If you remember the Spurs games, they're always close, right? And then we'd have our heart ripped out in the fourth quarter. But this game was going really well, and at one point, everyone's screaming at the television, and I look around, fourth quarter, 4 minutes left, and my wife is nowhere to be found. Now we're in she worked at the apartment at that time, and we're in the clubhouse. You know how they have a clubhouse. I turn around and she's organizing all of the cupboards during the Spurs game with 4 minutes left. That's my wife right there in a nutshell.
To it. I can't help it. I was the resident mayor, which meant that I did all their event planning and things like that, and they had a really messy pantry. So I can't help it. I'm a little OCD, a little ADD, and you combine that together and you got a really organized pantry during the Spurs playoff game.
That's right.
But I am a closet clutter keeper, and we'll talk about a little bit of what that means, but don't be missed with this, because although I am not a minimalist, I am a type A personality, OCD, I am a closet clutter keeper. And 43% Sicilian. Did I mention that? Yeah.
Right.
This is a picture. I had the real cool opportunity to be in the Fiesta a few years ago, and somebody got a great shot at my royal duties while on tour, so I always laugh at this. But growing up, I was very organized. My mom would say that was where she could find me, was doing kind of what Tomas led us to understand, but sort of, because organized for me meant straightening things out. It still meant that I had a mess, but I loved straightening things out. Then what changed for me, and raise your hand if you do not know about the Marie Kondo huge effect of the life-changing magic of tidying up. Raise your hand if you've never heard of it before. No, raise it much higher, because we all want to see you.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Great. So
Good.
I'm going to let Tomas give his perspective of what Marie Kondo and the life-changing magic is.
Yeah, so the life-changing magic was her throwing away all my crap. That's basically what it came down to. No.
Finally.
No, not at all. That's not what it is. That's not what it is. But for me, I remember her reading the book, and I remember getting excited. But what really made me laugh about this book is she found it in a clutter bag in her trunk of her car.
Okay,
Hold on.
That's where you have. That's where I'm taking over the story.
But all I can say is that this process, I think when you slowly start to understand it, it really starts to make sense. We have a lot of stuff that we don't necessarily use or need. And so for me coming into it, it was like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? But as time went on, I started to realize she could find everything she was looking for. I can never find anything I'm looking for.
Don't give them all the secrets.
So,
this is
yeah.
why, right?
So,
well, let me tell you, for those that raise your hand, thank you for being honest. It is this international craze right now where all of the Goodwill and others are being flooded with everybody's junk. So if you want a really good deal, go run over there and grab it, because everybody is really getting decluttering and removing and discarding everything from this little tiny Japanese woman. And it really is an international effect. I'll tell you, Tomas kind of gave away a little bit of the secret, but I was doing what I normally do best, which is every spring break, every Thanksgiving break, every Christmas break, every break possible, what did I like to do? Anybody have any guesses? Organize. So I put on my little cooking apron, because it's not what it's for. It's got pockets, and I go through the house, and I clean up, and I move around, and this is how I spend, and it is very enjoyable for me.
it is.
He loves it because I'm totally preoccupied, and what does he like to do? Watch games. Exactly. So in my little busyness, remember the whole closet clutter keeper? I would have little pockets of clutter. Closets full of stuff, bags full of stuff. And there I was, like, a little birdie going to bag to bag to bag to unravel. Okay, what's in there? Okay, batteries, okay, this, that, trash. And in this little bag, I found this cute little book. How nice. This was Christmas break. I have 2 weeks of decluttering. How nice, right? And I thought, wow, I don't remember buying this. So I started reading it, and I couldn't stop. I had to keep going. So I read, and I thought, wow, this is amazing. Next thing you know, I go to my closet, and I pull everything out of my closet onto my bed. I'm doing all this crazy stuff. Tomas thinks I'm a little crazy, but not that much, because what do I like to do? Not just another day. So I call my sister. We share the same birthday. We're very much alike, and we love to organize, all that stuff. And I said, I found the best book. You're going to love it. She's like, tell me about it. And I told her everything it said and how I just did my whole closet. And really, you should read it. What's the name of it? That's okay. We still love you. The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. She said, where did you find that? Oh, in a bag full of stuff, and I was putting everything away, and I found it, and there was a receipt in it, and I thought, this looks like something I would buy, but I don't remember buying it. She starts to laugh. She's like, Christina, I gave that to you for Christmas. Right? Yeah. But it was in my car, and my car collected clutter, and everything went into a bag, which went into a closet, and everything else in my house looked really nice, except if you opened up some things, maybe not so much. So the irony is I find this amazing, life-changing book and a bag of clutter.
Yep.
So since then, who has watched, now has become a craze phenomenon since January, the Netflix series with Marie Kondo?
One person. Okay, two. We got two. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So those of you who have not watched Netflix, raise your hand. Super high. Be proud.
Yeah.
Be proud.
Okay.
Okay. This is your binge watching opportunity this weekend. You're welcome. This is permission to watch a little bit about it. Now, the trick is on Netflix, you just see this little cutesy come in, leave a bunch of homework to the person, walk away, and then everything magically cleans up. It's not how it is, actually. They have consultants come in behind the scenes and help them, but this is TV magic, right? So you don't see it. But it really is interesting. If it doesn't motivate you to declutter one area of your house after you've watched the series, then call me, and it's time for me to come and make a house call, okay? But this really changed it. So much so, I jumped on a plane 4 years later and went to the class. So this is New York. I got to meet Marie for the second time because now I'm taking the actual course. I had such a great time. This is my mom here. We made it an experience. I came home and I told Tomas, I want to go to the London one, like 3 or 4 days later.
Sure, babe.
Some people like to shop at the mall. I like to shop at the office supply store and the Container Store. I see your judging eyes right now. And as you're Sicilian, who else is Sicilian? Italian in the room,
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't appreciate it. I know you guys have closets of clutter, okay? So here I am, I couldn't pack fast enough. Jump on a plane to London that next week, and I'm taking the class all over again, and I'm just absorbing. I met a whole community, and this is only just a glimpse. This is me sleeping and Coach. Because
She's
I don't know
laying
if you
down in
know,
Coach.
but Coach from San Antonio lays flat, just so you know, okay? But a whole community of people that now we're connected by WhatsApp. Has anyone heard of WhatsApp? Yep. Okay. Do you have international friends? So if you've ever gone on a group text from WhatsApp for international friends, guess what happens to your phone? It's all day and night. It blows up all day and night because they came from all over the world. It was truly amazing. So the New York experience and London experience gave me not only friendships and a world of information, but it was enlightening. And I'm going to share some of that with you today. So what is spark joy? Because that's kind of what she talks about in there. When I went through the first book and I pulled out all my clothes and it says, find the things that spark joy. I'm like, what the heck does that mean? Right? Spark joy? That means nothing to me. So what I did want to translate it to is what, for me, didn't spark joy, because that is the opposite of what that is. Here, what brings you, and this is what we're going to ask you, what brings you no joy? And I'll help you. And this is an opportunity that we're going to, so you're almost partnered up, I love it, turn to your neighbor for just a couple minutes and tell your neighbor the things that you just can't stand, that you just doesn't give you any joy, doesn't excite you, doesn't make you happy. We're just gonna get real no.
Go.
Yeah. I even hear the grumbles.
Was that way too much?
Well, my husband just moved into our house that I used to be in by myself. Well, I have all the closets full. Now we have 5 of each item. So
Did you share?
boxes into the dining room. So now that doesn't work anymore.
No, never. What you got, Eric?
I was designing them containers. My wife has the ambition to organize.
Yes.
But she doesn't, so we just have the containers.
You have a lot of containers.
And recycle it.
And
No joy.
No joy. Those bring no joy. You see them there.
Yeah.
My son just built their house in Denver, so it just frustrated me that he was
I heard all of your grumbles.
in one place. That's kind of like,
How, and this is not a trick, but how easy is it for us to figure out? I mean, it's on the top of our head. What sparks no joy? So who's going to be my volunteer? Oh, you're ready. No joy.
sky slope.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Oh, that's funny. Let's just be real. Let's just be real.
Who wants to follow that?
Yeah, how do we follow Sky Slope?
I appreciate that.
That's tough.
Who
That's
wants
tough.
to be brave and follow? Okay, thank you so much. I know that was a big one.
Falling.
Falling.
Yeah.
Okay, no joy.
No joy.
Agree.
Sitting in a cold office.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah.
No joy. No joy. I get it. Yes. I love the eagerness to tell me about your no joy.
Cleaning floors.
Oh.
Amen. Okay, I got you.
Files and mails and paperwork.
Ooh.
Yeah. Janet with 2 T's. Make sure you get Janet back there.
Laundry.
Yes.
Laundry, no joy.
joy.
No joy.
Yes.
Junk in my mailbox.
Junk in your
yes.
mailbox, spam and things like that. Okay, clouding up your mailbox. Cooking.
I love it.
That's a good one. There's a lot of new things for that today. Let me hear a couple more. Who else wants to be brave? Give me something good. Oh! We're about to call you out. Okay, they're coming. 'Tis the season. The weather is perfect. As they say, conditions are perfect.
That's
Give
right.
me one more.
What you have? Who's?
San Antonio, well, I-10 is under construction.
Oh,
No joy.
can we all just say no joy?
Yeah.
No joy.
Yeah.
So I want to share with you a few of mine. So I don't know if you know, I'm married to this guy who thinks he can run like 100 miles a month, and I don't run. I like to use the excuse that I have a couple screws in my ankle, but it's really not the excuse. I just don't want to do it. So this is what I'd like to think that I look like running, and this is what I'm pretty sure I look like running, which is why I wouldn't run with him. Yeah? So, no, but let's keep it real, because you shared with me, I want to share with you. Let's get to know each other. This is really intimate. I mean, we're in the close quarters here. So road trips, that's a no. No, it's not going to happen. You can get the most out of me maybe to Victoria. Here, I was fine. We hit under the threshold, okay?
Yeah.
After that, I start eating, I get irritable. It's not going to happen. I
So
spent
true.
all my childhood doing road trips. Not going to happen. Road trips, nope. Stripes, polka dots, patterns, all of that, you notice it's all one color? Not going to happen. Nope. I'm just being honest. The judging eyes are back. I can see it. I see you looking at me. Cottage cheese? That's a no. Raise your hand if you like cottage cheese.
Oh, look at this.
That's a no, okay? Traffic is a no. Snow is a no. You said aw. Raise your hand if you said aw. You like snow. Okay, have you always lived in Texas? Yes. Yes. Have you ever lived in a cold state? Yes. Yes, and do you love the snow? Yes. Oh, Outlier.
But then you're coming from Chicago. Aubrey and I come from Chicago. We don't want any snow. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Chicago, 1995, the year I met Tomas. It's not me, but it might as well be my attitude. And I moved to this. This is where we say, this brings me joy. So let's talk about it. What does bring me joy? Because it is all about me. I am the presenter, right? So this is exciting. I get to share with you all about me. So,
Please go on.
right? Keep it going. Come on, keep it going. So cute. No, brings me lots of joy. He is. He is. I was like, please, Lord, give me green eyes. And he got hazel, and I'm like, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
There's God. Does anybody know about Chewy's creamy jalapeno dip?
It's the
Have you
best.
not tried creamy jalapeno dip?
Oh.
You haven't lived yet?
Yeah.
You're not a true resident of Texas? Because all things are solved by Chewy's creamy jalapeno dip and their Texas martini, AKA margarita. All your problems are solved. They're washed away. You had a problem at work, you go get some creamy jalapeno and a little Texas martini, and it's all done. Movies. This is not really the movies, but it sure looks like it, right? I love the movies. I love it. You can take me to a million movies. It's how I decompress. My mind turns off, and I love the movies, except no sci-fi and nothing scary.
She loves the movies so much we had to build a movie room in our 3-bedroom home. So one of the bedrooms is a movie room.
Okay,
Yes.
you say that, but
Yes.
the truth is we tricked our son. Can I tell you this story? Totally off script. The story is he's 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And we used to have a house with no kids, 4 bedrooms.
Yep.
4 bedrooms, and we're like, what do we do with all the rooms? Master bedroom, check. Guest room, check. We got 2 more rooms. What do we do? Leave them blank? I mean, that's kind of weird, right? So one of them we made into the spa room. We put like a massage and like a yoga mat, kind of decorate it up. This is great if you have any clients that like need a vision for that 3rd room, because it was cheap, no furniture. We just bought our house. There was a lot to furnish, right? The last one, we put curtains along everything. Have you seen those in the builders' homes? Mounted a TV, put a couch, done, movie room. Mic drop. So
Yeah.
when we moved into a smaller home, just a 1-story, we have a son, now 10, but at the time, toddler mess everywhere. So the 3rd bedroom was like his playroom, because remember the OCD, let's get back to all that stuff. I do not want it everywhere, so let's throw it all in a room, right? But then he got older, and he didn't play with the toys, and he actually didn't even go there. Now he's in his room. So we're like, Enzo, do you want a toy room or do you want a movie room? He's like, I want a movie room. Yes, indeed. Happy birthday.
That's right. And we sold everything.
All
of his
literally,
toys.
so he thought for a long time it was his own movie room. I love it. It's my favorite room, to be honest. Okay, back to me and all about me. Or enough about me. Let's talk about you. What do you think of me? I use that one a lot. So
does.
I love vacation. I love getting away with my family. Yes. We always say we live small because I want to get away as much as possible, because we do the everyday all the time, right? And it's busy and it's hectic, and then we just want to get away. I love direct deposit. That took you guys a couple minutes. Who in here doesn't not like direct deposit? You like direct deposit. You like the title company. I should have put the title company up here. We love some title company. My background actually sold new homes for 10 years. I'm right with you. I loved my realtor teams because you brought me my clients. That drove me crazy. But at the end of the day, it resulted in a direct deposit. You're shocked, I can tell, about the new home sales.
We don't have that at our title companies. That's why we're looking at you like stupid.
No. I got direct deposit. You had to go to the title company. Sorry.
She worked for the builder. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
He's my teacher. He's supposed to help me when I
I got
forget
you.
something.
I got you.
Any questions on the direct deposit? All right. So, raise your hand if you have an iPhone.
Yay.
Get them out. Let's go. I'm sorry, those of you that don't have an iPhone.
Don't be.
No, because you can't interact with us right now. We're leaving you out. And I feel really
Well, let's see if
not
it
that
works.
bad
Let's
about
just
it.
let them try.
It's going to work.
Yeah, Samsung. Pull them out if you have a Samsung.
I'm
Yeah.
giving them your phone number.
You can give him my phone number?
Okay, So, your favorite friend in the world. I just want you to text them any number of things. I'm going to give you a choice. Okay? Since it's super weird, you're going to randomly text them this. Because this, and I'm not kidding you, I do this to my mom every once in a while, or my sister. On an iPhone, since it's so special, if you just type in, nothing added to it, Happy New Year, or congratulations, your phone vibrates and explodes. Now go for it. Happy New Year, just random. Congratulations, one or the other, pick one. Be brave, you can do it, and you'll get the phone call later like, what's wrong with you? You went to a retreat and you're telling me Happy New Year? It's a whole new you. You're ready to go. No iPhone?
If you do congratulations,
okay.
It drops confetti from the top.
That makes me so happy. I'm going to tell you. I know it sounds silly, but we're not talking about just joyful things that we can eat, do, or be. This actually brings me joy because I think it's hysterical because on the other side, they're receiving exactly what you got, which was a big explosion of confetti. Raise your hand if you really did it.
Anybody see it? Yeah.
It's fun. The whole screen lights up. Again, I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly. Okay, now put your phones away and pay attention to me. So what I did was a digital joy project. And on here, if you notice a few things we talked about, creamy jalapeno, because that solves all the world problems. But on here, even some quotes. She stood in the storm, and when the wind did not blow her away, she adjusted her sails. One of my favorite. And another one is, she woke up and realized she had forgotten the definition of the word impossible. She decided it must not have been that important. And some things are experiences. I love bike riding with my family. I love coconut milk ice cream in maple pecan. I love this crazy pajama. I love shoes. I love the color navy, even though I'm wearing black today. There's a lot of things on here that are experiences, objects, people, because if you notice, I have my family. And that makes up little things that I decided, what does bring me joy? I made a list, and then I put it on a visual board, because this is the challenge of the homework I want to give you while we break to another topic. The homework I want to give you is your joy project. Now, this could be digital, something you do on your computer with images, or like we do in an interactive class of this same thing, we take poster board and you're going to create your project using magazines, scissors. You're going back to kindergarten. And maybe you do this with your family or friends and you actually use magazines and figure out some of the images that spark joy for you. And maybe they're experiences, maybe it's food, right? Maybe it's a magazine picture of a big stack of cash, because that sparks joy. No? Yeah? So you're going to use those magazines and help you make a board. And maybe it's something you want to obtain, and we'll talk about that. So when you're doing your joy board, trust your instincts. Ask yourself, what sparks joy for me? What makes me happy? What do I get excited about? What's something I want to add to my future? Some people think of it as a vision board, but it's not necessarily just the things that you want to bring into your future. It could be right now. If there's just a few things that just bring a smile to your face or think, I love that, I'm going to have more of that in my life. Or it's something that you want to obtain. You know what? I want to take a certain certification class. I want to take up golfing. Anything that you want to do that's going to go onto your joy project, and that's going to be your visual of what you want to do for your future. But the most important thing to remember is your joy is as unique as you are, right? So, time for sharing.
So what we're going to do now is we're just going to take a few minutes to share what brings you joy with your neighbor. And just share really quickly. We're going to give you about 2 minutes. What gets you excited? What makes you smile? What do you get excited about? Really quickly share with your partner. Go. So in terms of joy, I wanted to hear, who would like to share? Real quick, what brings you joy?
Family.
Say it.
Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's. You went twice in a week. I saw that. What else brings you joy?
Sky slope.
Sky slope. Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny.
Oh, it's funny. Oh, it's funny.
That's
All right,
good.
what else? What do you got? Yes.
Fabric.
Fabric. Oh, I love it. Yes. Yes. Animals. Yes. Yes. Cruising. We'll be on a boat next week. We're excited. Yes.
I like shoes.
Shoes. Yes. I have a shoe problem right now with running shoes right now. I have like 4, maybe 7 pair of running shoes. Yeah, but they bring me a lot of joy.
It's hard to argue with.
Yeah. Anybody else? One more. Yes. Paddleboarding.
Oh,
2
nice.
hours in the garden with a bottle of William Hill Chardonnay.
Ooh, very
Joy.
specific. I
Joy.
like it.
I love it. Thank you.
Which part comes first, the garden or the Chardonnay? Which one is which? Okay. Well, it's easy for us to, now that we've determined what our no joy, now we've determined what our joy is, I want to change your thoughts and paint a picture for you. First with a story. A few years ago, handful of years ago, I was at the Prada Homes working with the builder, and they were evacuating. This was actually in Stone Oak, right? Champions, they were evacuating the area because a lot of grass fires, so much heat, the grass was catching on fire, and they were evacuating the area. And we lived really close by. My son was a little further, and Tomas was out of the area. I was close by, and I called Tomas. I said, I'm going home. I'm going to pack up a couple of our things because I don't know what's happening, right? Fire was moving. It wasn't in our neighborhood. My house was safe. It wasn't there, but it could have moved in that area. I said, I'm going to go get Enzo, and I'm just going to stay out of the area. So when I got to my house, I took our suitcase, I packed our important documents. I had some special mementos. My grandparents and my great-grandparents are passed that I knew of, and just a few things in the suitcase and left. But it puts it in perspective, right? And for me, what I want to share with you is, let's imagine for you right now, and just think, what if this happened to your neighbor? Not your house, but your neighbor's house. And if you look closely, I know it's a little small, it's hard to see, but your house is next door, and on the side, it's starting to melt. Firefighters are there on the scene. You're home. Your car's in the garage. You've got a couple minutes to get whatever you need and get out. Now let's realize that your family is safe, your pets are safe, and the firefighter has said, you've got 1 minute to get your stuff and get out of the house. A minute is a long time. Have you ever sat on hold for a minute? It's quite some time. You could get a few things in a minute's time. So my question to you in visualizing this, and if this happened to you, because we talked about our joy and our no joy, what is going to be packed in your suitcase? You've got a minute. Talk to your neighbor. I like the because retreat. I like the interactive between them versus the show.
Yeah. That's how I pretty much do all, but then I'll mix it up too.
Yeah.
So I'll have somewhere to shout out and somewhere to where we do and talk.
Yeah.
So just sometimes you just mix it up.
Well, we'll do both in this case because we're good.
Yep.
You like my chimes? Very zen.
Very zen.
Ready?
Yep.
You guys are you're such a fun group. I love how you talk to each other and you're not afraid to share. And I'd love to hear some of the things. So again, your family is safe. Your pets are safe. You can't put them in the suitcase. Raise your hand and tell me, what are you putting in there? Photos. Off the walls.
Yep.
Exactly. That's a good one.
A picture of my grandparents, my cast iron skillet, and some bobby pins.
Nice. Nice.
So random. I love it. Who else?
Yes.
My electronics, so your laptop, your iPad, your phone, and my guns.
And guns.
Woo!
Nice call.
Packing some heat. Who else?
There's a picture on our bedroom wall of Wes and I on our 30th wedding anniversary. And it's the most Actually, it's this beautiful photograph, and it was on the cruise on our 30th anniversary, and it is the most beautiful picture ever that Wes and I've ever had together. And there aren't any negatives of it. There was one picture that we got from the cruise ship, and that was it. I would take that in a heartbeat.
Very nice. Yes.
I would just like to compliment you on this idea, because how often do we think about what really is important and how quickly could we pick up an interest?
It's true.
Long time ago, when I lived in a different city, I knew a house that burned to the ground. And the lady she was in a frenzy of humanity. She ran into the house and she actually grabbed a stack of newspapers. That's what she said. It was the only thing that saved out of her house.
Wow.
So it's very thought-provoking. Thank you for bringing that.
Oh, thank you. That actually, you saying that gives me goosebumps. It's a very interesting idea that we run into a house for things. And sometimes, I mean, the things that you've shared, minus the bobby pins in the frying pan, nah, I'm not sure. I'm just
If we're in a natural disaster and we have
It's important.
it's gonna be You'll be coming to my dish.
That's
Yes, we
true.
will.
That's true.
Yes, we will.
But the idea that really, when we're safe, our family is safe, our pets are safe, you know, there's very few things that we would need to run in, because a lot of the things are not replaceable in the things that you mentioned, so I appreciate it, but they are really replaceable. And so much of our home is replaceable. And so the idea that we're going to now shift our focus to is talking about what we have, what we accumulate, and how those things are important and how they play a role in not only us, right, and the intentional living, like what you just spoke of, but really what direction you're going to go into. So that's what that's the perspective I want to paint for you, because things are fun and they're part of our lives. They're not going anywhere. And if you remember, I mentioned I'm not a minimalist. I'm not saying okay, just gut your house and don't start over with nothing. You get a mattress and a milk crate and a TV. That's it. No, not at all. So one quote that I want to share with you, of many that we're going to talk about today, from Marie. It says, when we really delve into the reasons for why we can't let something go, there are only two: an attachment to the past or a fear of the future, right? So a lot of things that when you go home or look in your office, any space that you have, even in your car, how many of us have clutter in our car, right? Oh, you are such an honest group. I love it. But really, I might need this, right? Or it reminds you of something, even though you don't really look at it, So that's one thing that, consider, those two things. So question, is there something you own right now that you are holding on to because you think you might need it in the future? That's a good one. We're going to talk about that.
Yep. So who has one? Raise your hand. Who's got something they're holding on to?
I'm ready.
Clothes. Yep. What else?
Clothes that are too small.
I would say scrap material, and I promise Gail was going to get
That scrap fabric she's looking for, right? That's. What else are we holding on to? Anybody have a TV on a TV? Have y'all ever seen that?
Stop it.
Only reason why I say
We
that is
don't.
that I grew up with the TV on the TV, and I always wondered, well, why can't we get rid of this TV down here? It doesn't work, but it's a great stand.
It's a console, right. Okay, give me a couple more. What are you holding on to? Books. That's a good one.
We'll talk about that.
One more. Tell me another one. Come on, this side. They're killing you over here. Second crock pot?
Second crock pot.
Incomplete crock pot.
Papers. Old bills.
Old bills.
Woo! I'm going to tell you,
Yes.
this side has hit a lot of what we're about to talk about. This is good.
Yes.
This is real good. Okay, second. What's something that you own that was a gift or given to you that you never use, wear, enjoy, because you really don't like it, but you don't want to get rid of it? Who wants to be honest? Jewelry. Okay, certain jewelry that's not your taste.
Yeah.
Anything in particular you want to share?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone in here gave it to you. Be honest. That's too much. That's a good
Oh,
one.
that's funny.
Okay, who else? Thank you.
So my sister-in-law is the queen of giving children bags full of little itty-bitty crap.
Ah.
From Oriental Trading.
Oh.
From Dollar Tree. And so for years, all those little bags full of crap went to the bottom of the closet. And one of these years, when we started cleaning out, I was like, why do we keep this stuff? And Tabby gave it to us.
Yes.
Because there's that emotional attachment, but there's not really an emotional attachment
No.
to this stuff.
No.
It's the person that you think, well, gosh, the next time she's here, if she sees that in the trash, what are we going to do?
Yes.
Don't wish that on her.
So I'm originally from Peru, and my brother took a trip to Peru, and he brought back some boomy and some decorative stuff that you put on the wall.
Okay.
And it's very meaningful, but I really hate it.
Is it on your
Thank
wall right
you.
now? Is it on your wall right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but you kept it.
Yeah.
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 It's rare, you won't find it here.
Yep.
It's hard, and you have to. I mean, you've got to make a decision, right? Because the sentimental, because that almost extends to a sentimental, right? It's from someone, and it's rare, and it means a lot. And then there's the occasional gift, and I think this group of any group that I would have this class with knows real estate is precious, and I don't mean buying a house inside your home, cabinets, closets, drawers. Real estate in your home is precious. There's not much of it. Even if you live in a 5,000 square foot house, you still only have so much of that 5,000 square feet to use, to store, accumulate, and then you're busting out of it. Time for a 10,000 square foot house. That would make you happy, right? Put that one on the market and go buy another one. That's okay, but you still are only limited to the home that you have, the space that you have, car, office, whatever. But keeping something that someone gave you probably meant that they wanted you to be happy, and we're probably guessing, right, at your tastes or your likes, but really the idea of just gifting you that was more important. But you not using it, maybe and having it in a drawer or just storing it, and it just being there like this thing, like, oh, there it is again, taking up space, maybe wouldn't give them joy knowing that it's just taking up space. So it's time to set it free. How you deal with that and the departure of it, because every circumstance is so different, really is up to you, but you have to make a decision. I'll be honest, I'm hosting this class, and I'm not going to say it out loud because there's a gentleman in the back recording me, but there is an object in my home that I'm keeping because someone in my family gave it to me, and it's out on display, and I promise you I would love to put it away. So I have moved it from one place to the next place, to the further away and further away. It wasn't him. I get it. There's gonna be the thing that we keep, but maybe don't make it the things we keep or the things, plural, that we store. Use that space, free it, let it go, discard it, right? So the next thing we're gonna talk about is everything is coming at us from Instagram of what we should look like today, what we should buy. The sales, it's on sale. It's 50% off, it's 99% off. I joke with Tomas, I'm like, I love furniture stores because have you heard how much furniture is marked up? Who can guess?
There you go.
But it's on sale 80%. I'm like, oh, let's wait for it to be 290%, right? But everything is coming at us. Pinterest is telling us what things to put in our home, what to wear, what to accumulate. The ads, Thanksgiving's coming up. What's coming up in Thanksgiving time? Black Friday. Is it really Thanksgiving anymore? Let's be honest. I mean, it just kind of crept over, right? I was going to say Christmas. Halloween was like last month. Christmas is already. I mean, the holidays have not become holidays, really. They've become a retail holiday, and that's it. But it's important for you to not own something because Instagram tells you that it's, or the cost because it's low, the accumulation. Buy it because you want to bring it into your life. Buy it because it's special to you. Remember I mentioned the joke about the patterns? I love patterns on people. All of you look beautiful. But on me, it makes me feel crazy. I don't know if it's my ADD, whatever excuse, but I just can't do it. But I would wear patterns all the time. I never wore it. I wore it once, or I bought it from the store and stuck it in my closet, and eventually I'll get to it, and I passed it over how many times, right? And wore the same 5 things. Well, those things that I'm passing over, it's time to set them free. In your home, if there are trinkets, let's say you love frogs, and you have a collection of 20 frogs, and where are they? In a drawer, in a box, wrapped in special paper for you to enjoy. When? Never. Right? Instead, if you really love them, if you don't love them, time to go, right? They've been in the drawer, hiding out, and you've got precious real estate that you're trying to let go. But if you really love them, bring them out. If you have limited real estate, what to do? Put one in a drawer, you open your utensils, there's your frog. Open your refrigerator, get your milk, there's your frog. You go to the closet for your jacket, there's your frog. You go to the bathroom, lift the toilets. No, I'm just kidding. It's not your frog. But do you see what I mean? Enjoy those items. Put them on display or put them where you can see them. Don't hide them and put them away. Buy stuff not because it's on Instagram or you think it's the coolest, latest thing or it was on sale. Buy it because I love blue and I want to put blue all over my house. Great. Funny story. When we were first married into a couple years, I think, I had a really beautiful, beautiful friend who was a designer. And we were shopping around. I was like, oh, what should I do in my house? I'm decorating. And my favorite color is navy. Remember I shared it with you? And we had blue stuff in my house. She made a comment, nothing to do with me, and said, oh, never pick blue, because maybe I gravitated to something blue. She's like, oh, never pick blue, because blue shouldn't be used anywhere. And that was her opinion, right? And for some reason, that stuck with me. I was like, huh, you're right. I shouldn't use blue. I should use this color she's suggesting. It was wine color, like a maroon. Sorry for the Aggie fans, but I didn't like wine. I didn't like the color on me, but I actually introduced it to my whole entire house. Pillows started becoming that, the throw, the pictures. And I woke up 15 years later, and my house was with no color of blue. And I told him, that's not me. And I know this sounds really simple because that can be translated to anything. I'm driving this car because it's supposed to be driving this kind of car, not because that's my favorite car. Or I go on these trips because this is where everybody is going, not because I always wanted to see Alaska. This can be defined in any kind of area in your life. For me, it was just really, really understood and noticeable that it was translated into the design of my entire home filled with not the color that I liked. Does that make sense? And when I'm going through the KonMari method of my clothes, what sparks joy? None of it. None of it. Because I really didn't know what truly meant to me. I didn't know, do I like stripes? Do I not like stripes? Do I like grays? Do I not like grays? You see, I mean, you can really pick any category. I'm talking about clothes and shoes and objects because they're easy to define. But maybe it's, you've been taking salsa lessons for 10 years and you don't like salsa and you're never gonna do it. Why take salsa? Because your friends are doing it, but you don't love it. Do you see those examples of how you could, so whatever is in your mind, hopefully something has, sparked, but those are the things that you either need to place in your life, not because of the cost or because somebody says you need to do it, but because it's something you enjoy, you want to do. Are you tracking with me? Tell me if you're brave enough. Oops.
No, you're good. Okay.
If you're brave enough, what's something, and it could be any category, tell me something that you want to do or add to your life that you're like, you know what, that's it. You just thought of it. Anybody brave? Nobody's brave.
Time to relax and do what you want to do around your house and get away from the office and get away from the work.
I love it.
Yeah.
Time to relax. Thank you.
Lemon yellow depression.
Mmm.
And it's all because of Cynthia and Martha.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
Depression bones.
I like it. Anybody else? It was funny, my mom equally and Tomas's mom gave me some china that was stuck in the back of the cabinet that I never used. And you only live once, right? So instead of just having it up there for the never use, something to look at that nobody really sees, I started bringing it out. Because I thought, if it breaks, it breaks. But it's not coming to use, it might as well be I don't have it. For us, it sounds crazy, and I'm going to see the judgy eyes. Cloth napkins. I'm like, you know what? I want to have dinner with cloth white napkins. If I have to throw them away because they're too stained or buy some more, they're so cheap. I want dinner every night, cloth napkins outside. That's the life I want to live, right? I want dinner when it's nice outside, when my allergies are not, making me crazy. But that's what I want to do. When I come home, I want to relax. I want to enjoy my family. I don't want to clean, organize anymore. I just want to enjoy the little things I have around me are what I love and nothing else.
That is something. I want to add this because a few years ago, Tomas and Christina sent me these 2 wine glasses, and they're those Rydell's, and I broke one, so I have one left. And if you don't know me, I do really enjoy wine. So James, he's not here to chime in, but if I don't get that wine glass at night, he knows. And he actually tells me, he said, how can you tell that's different wine glass? I said, the weight.
Aww.
So there are things in life that brings joy, and that wine glass brings
Wow.
That's great.
That's cool.
But really, it's because you decide, right? I love that. That's a great example, and you guys have shared some really great examples. But make those decisions of what brings joy and what you want to keep and what you want to let go of, because it's uniquely you, right? It's totally uniquely you. So, what you own. This is going to be interesting. The question of what you own or want to own is actually the question of how you want to live your life, right? And I think we can get into a little bit of your home, and maybe this talks about your office, your car. This can all translate. But a bigger question is, what will be around when you are not? And if you were to be summarized by the items or the objects that belong to you, what story would be told? Oh, he really likes skiing, but I never really remember him skiing, not for like 10 years. Maybe he skied once. Maybe he was planning to ski. Gosh, I really don't know, huh? Right? Because you have all kinds of ski gear that never got used, and none of your friends ever saw you ski, but maybe you had intended to ski. Right? Who has a hobby that they wanted to start that never got started? Anyone? Mm-hmm. You're laughing, so you're guilty. Tell me.
I gave all of my beads for jewelry to Martha because my husband will tell you we moved them around for 10 years. And I never made jewelry. So Martha's got them, and now it's cluttering up her home.
Okay, Martha, the big question here, we're all thinking the same thing. Did you make something out of the beads? Or are you just holding them?
I'm holding them, but
Okay.
periodically I open them up. She gave me these beautiful boxes.
Okay.
I pull them out and I think about things I'm going to do. I have
You don't do it.
I'm going to.
Yes.
But you're going to. So, bigger question, and I want to get to yours as well. Bigger question. How long have you had the beads?
Less than a year.
Yeah.
Year and a half.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about why over the year and a half. I'm picking on you. I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine.
This is a great example. Yeah.
So it takes some organizational space in my house.
Okay.
I need a place to do it, and we built a house,
Okay.
and I haven't gotten it.
Mm.
I don't know how I'm going to set it up where I can actually use them and see what I have and all the little, it has to be see-through and all those kinds of things.
Okay.
Yep.
Is there something preoccupying the space now?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about that. If you're willing. Fabric. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So could it be, and it's okay that you haven't given priority to the beads, we don't judge you. I know we got lots of judging eyes, but we don't judge you. But could it be that you've given more priority to what you really like or what really sparks joy, which is the fabric, and why you haven't, over the last year and a half, brought out the beads? Because maybe they don't take the same priority. Maybe. I'm not saying it does. Something to think about. Yeah. Because sometimes in our lives, the choice has already been made for us, right? And we're not using that example. It could be that today you go home and you just clear everything out and make space for the beads. And like, beads, you're having a home. It's today, right? But sometimes it's already been spoken and chosen for us because the priority was given to something else. It's like starting a book that you started it and you just put it down, didn't finish it, but you picked up about 2 or 3, 4, 5, 20 more. This guy loves to read, right? And you haven't gone back to this book. Why? You probably don't want to read it. But you think, one day I'm going to read it. When? Because you actually gave time to the other books. Maybe you don't. Maybe the book already gave you what it provided, right? Or it told you what it needed to tell you, which is that's not the book you want to spend your time with, right? So consider some of those hobbies or interests or things that you haven't gotten around to. Maybe it's because that doesn't take priority in what you really want to do, what you really want to give time to, right? I had a couple more in the back that had some hobbies. Maybe one or more? No? Oh, thank you.
You mentioned a while ago, like, what is going to be left whenever you're not here. So my grandfather passed away about 3 weeks ago. So this isn't, or maybe it was longer than that. It was July, the end of July. So it's still really fresh. Whenever he passed away and had the funeral, people were coming over like immediately, like vultures, to like get his stuff.
Wow.
And so my parents were like, if you want something, you need to pick it out. And I mean, I looked through like his belongings, and I took one. It's this little Christmas tree that my grandmother actually would save for me every year that I got to put the lights in. And that was what I decorated. So that's the only thing I took. They're like, they were massive collectors. They were like, you don't like this, or you don't like this, or all of these things. And I was like, I just have all these memories, and this is just stuff. And so I let everybody else that it was important to take it. But then this year for Christmas, I have 6 sisters and a mother-in-law that we all usually just exchange names and buy each other one gift instead of 7. And so this year I proposed, it's like, instead of each of us buying junk, 'cause I don't need any more junk, like, let's go do something.
I love it. That is
Thank you for sharing
awesome.
that.
Thank you. That is a really
Yeah.
great example because it's hard sometimes to think of gifts and we forget the ones that are not an accumulation, that are an experience. And that is awesome.
It's like a $50 budget, and I'm like, I really don't need anything that's going to cost less than $50.
Right.
Yeah, my standards have risen, okay?
Can I say that to him? I'm going to agree with that. Thank you for sharing that because
Yeah.
that's super.
Yes.
Really super.
Yes.
I have a story to tell you that
Tell me.
goes along with this about an old gentleman who went to visit a friend of his that had a very young daughter. And he wanted to get to know this child, so he was talking to her. He got down on the floor and he was looking at all her toys, and he said, "You've got so many dolls, all these dolls. Do they have names?" "Oh yes, they all have names," she said. "And they were beautiful. They talked, they ate, they wet, they did everything." He says, "Well, do you have a favorite?" And she said, "Oh yes." He says, "Well, is it one of these?" And she said, "Oh no. He said, "Well, what is your favorite doll?" So she went into the bedroom and she came out carrying this old dilapidated doll with the plastic head where it used to have hair and had no hair. One eye was out, an arm was broken. I mean, it was dirty. And she clutched it and clung to it. And the man says, "Why do you love that doll the best?" She says, "Well, if I don't love it, who will?" So some of these items, like I will tell you, I have my negligee from when I first got married.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, you gotta be careful handling that.
Right.
I have mine too.
That's precious.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mom,
Yeah.
I said, "No,
Yeah.
it represents something to me.
Yes.
It's precious.
Absolutely.
I love it. Who's going to?"
Who's
That's
gonna
right.
love it? Only you gonna love it the way you need to. No, I think that's a splendid point because there are things that just as unique as you are, so are the items that, and especially in the sentimental category, that are precious to us, right? That we don't want to let go. But bring those to the forefront. Make space for those in your home and in your place, right? Fill the objects that are around you with all the beautiful things that you want to see that bring you joy. Make a special little hanger in your closet where you see that negligee.
That's right. That's right.
So I want to give you, Tomas and I mentioned earlier, we love to travel. And I love hotels. Not just like the Hojo, like I love hotels. I will accumulate as many points, who's a point accumulator, as possible to try to stay at the nicest hotel in the city just to experience the lap of luxury. Because I feel like, and I mentioned earlier, we live small so we could travel big.
Now, I have the disclaimer. When we got married, if y'all remember Priceline.com, we mastered the $50 hotel room.
Yes.
We
All
mastered
day.
that.
I was married to a teacher. Okay?
And I didn't have no money. Okay, I had none. I had no money whatsoever. But now we've upgraded and we've gotten to stay in some amazing places. Thankfully to my wife, because I could stay pretty much anywhere. But I'm just really glad she's opened my eyes to some of the beautiful places that we've stayed.
He called me out. So
yeah.
I know some of you in the room are like, please, we're only going to sleep in that hotel. It does not have to be amazing. We're going to go play. That I get it. And there's time for that. But I also like to experience hotels. So I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, why checking into a hotel is awesome. So maybe you're on a budget and your room looks like this, right? And that's
nice.
Beautiful. Super.
Yeah.
Right? Or maybe you go a little on the price line, a little. Is there a price line anymore?
No, you can't name your own price anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or maybe you go a little bit, splurge a little bit on your vacation. Or maybe you're telling yourself, if I stay in Vegas, I'm only at the Wynn, right?
Yeah. The next one.
Thank you. You're such a good assistant.
Anybody ever stayed at the Wynn? Oh my goodness.
It's magical. I've only been one time, and I won't go again because now it's ruined. I told Tomas we had friends, and they made it a whole experience, and I'll never go back because it's done. Like, have you had that when you've experienced something and you've done it a second time and it was terrible? I've done that too many times that I've realized I just want it one time because I don't want to destroy it after that. So I'm going to tell you, a hotel room is beautiful. Because they have it really nicely furnished and everything, in all different, scales of the price point. But why? Why is it beautiful? It's organized, no clutter, it's clean. Somebody else.
Yes.
All the bed linens are fresh
Yes.
and white. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
Yes. Can you agree? You super love it.
Anybody here not like going to hotels? Anybody not like it? Everybody likes it? Okay.
I mean, we don't think about the fact that 1 million people have stayed in that room before. I don't know why the OCD crazy lady in me does not even consider it when I'm checking into this.
Yeah.
Because I think, now, I just have a disclaimer. From here on out, I will let you know if any of the photos are mine. I saw the judgy eyes earlier, so this is my disclaimer ahead of time, that sometimes, and be honest, we check into this. Or this. Get a good look. Or this. Or this. Or that.
Oh.
Those aren't my photos. I'm just saying. Just want
Yeah.
to make it clear. Or maybe not. Maybe all of you have amazing homes, right? You have amazing homes. They're all ready. They're like decorated perfect. They look like this. Right? Your kitchen looks like that. I would love a kitchen like this.
Yeah.
We're going to your house.
Yes.
I believe it. It's going to be for sale soon, everybody. Okay. But maybe your home looks like this and your garage looks like that. Now let's talk about truth.
Listen. So.
My garage, because of her.
Oh. When I saw this picture, I immediately said, Christina, isn't that your mom's garage? Isn't that your mom's garage?
No.
And she was like,
I can't
no.
believe that.
Her mom comes
It's
over
worse.
while we're practicing, and her mom goes, that looks like my garage.
Isn't that funny?
Oh, I about fell over. Oh.
So we know your garage looks like this. Be honest. Who wants, we're all family here. We've gotten to know each other. We've told us what sparks joy. We've grumbled already. We've praised and said what doesn't and does. Who's going to be honest? Who parks on the driveway? You don't even have to confess. Who parks on the driveway? Okay, I got you. I'm going to see you.
Yep.
Okay. So, do your cupboards look like this? If you're looking for the yellow pages and you're still using it, it's right there. Mm-hmm. I found it. Or maybe a little less. Maybe they're not busting out. Maybe your cabinets look like that. Like this. Come on. Your shoes, ladies. I love the organizing rack. It was a great intention, but way too many shoes, so there's no way that's going to stay. Linen closets. Who out there? Linen closets. This is confession time. The only person who likes your linen closet like that are the cats.
True.
Not my pictures, don't forget. Does your pantry look like this? Am I hitting home to anybody right now? Let's confess.
I don't think we're gonna have anybody confess.
Who has a junk drawer? Raise your hand. Raise it high. Be confident of your junk drawer. Raise it high.
Yeah.
Junk drawer, junk drawer.
Yeah.
I would like to liberate you today from the real estate and get rid of your junk drawer. No. This all belongs somewhere.
Yeah, the trash. Yeah.
So, the non-organized husband, I actually had to make shoe boxes that here's pens, because in our house we go through pens and we accumulate, right? And they're used. Pens, tape and scissors, because especially during Christmas time we go through it. It's not an over supply of things, but just compartmentalize them, put everything together. Because have you ever looked? I need a AA battery. Where's the AA battery? We looked over here because we kind of keep it over here.
No. This is what happens. You steal it from one remote to go to the other remote. Don't lie.
Well,
okay, that's what I do.
That's true. But you're looking in a drawer. You're looking over here, rather than having one place for all the batteries, right? With safety and care, because batteries can cause fires. But all of this, office supplies, goggles or work goggles. I mean, get them in the garage or the swim area. I'm not really sure which one of those are for. But everything belongs somewhere, or in the trash.
You can see they started. They had some sense of organization with this box right here.
But you can't organize a junk drawer. It's going to get junky. Get rid of it. Take the temptation away. Put it all where it needs to go. And give yourself back a utility drawer, maybe for some your spatulas or anything else that you find joy in your kitchen for. Okay? Can we agree? So now it's my turn for confession. These aren't my DVDs, but I just needed a picture. Tomas and I, mostly. Are you feeling me?
Anybody have a DVD like back in the day? Like you just had to buy them? Like I just had to buy the DVDs, especially when they were on sale. I had to buy them. So we accumulated a lot of DVDs. A lot of DVDs.
If he was being honest, he rented them from Redbox, never returned them, and then we owned them. That's where you get an accumulation. I mean, we want to talk about confession. True. Sorry, right?
We bought a lot of DVDs from Redbox.
So
we did.
Ask me, for the 5 or 10 years, did we own a DVD player? No, that broke. But did I keep DVDs? Yes. Why? For what? I was never going to buy another DVD player. Are you in the same boat?
We have 2 drawers full of DVDs. And
Do you have a DVD player?
And the movie's on TV, and we're watching it on TV with all the commercials when we own the DVD.
People, it's time to let it go. Storage is precious in your home.
Yes.
Your real estate, right?
You can scan your DVD if you own it, and it will upload onto your Apple TV, and then you can throw the DVD away.
Absolutely. With today's technology, you've got that option. You've got Apple TV. You've got Fire TV. I mean, there's so many options. You're good. Okay, let's move on. Your closet. Maybe your closet looks like this. No? No? Come on. No? So, little insight, no judgy eyes, a real picture. This is our closet.
That's pretty good.
Not bad, right?
No, notice she chopped it off right here, though. She chopped it off right.
Of course.
Because that's my side of the closet.
Tomas has more clothes than I do.
I do actually have more clothes.
I ruined him. He
Yeah.
used to just, I say we went from basketball shorts to Brooks Brothers because, you know, when I first met him, he was just happy being in basketball shorts. And
All
then
day.
we ruined him. I put him
Yeah.
in a suit and never came back.
Yeah.
But here, I want to give you the example we spoke about earlier. I have a few precious things that I enjoy, but it's really hard to place them in your home, especially when you've decorated it nicely, and I have other items that I like. But there's some things that every day when I wake up, I want to see them or be inspired by them. And what you don't see here is on my wall, I have other things that people have given me, or inspirational quotes, or motivational things. Quote here, pictures. It's where I put my little lipsticks. I'm a Burt's Bees kind of girl. Very easy. But here, this is my everyday life. It's not everybody's everyday life, because maybe your closet looks like this. That's okay. Or like this. No?
The chair.
This. Your dog's happy in your closet? Celebrities even have problems in closets, right?
Yep.
Because we really have just accumulated more than we can actually handle in our space. So my point in showing my closet was I only have this big of a closet. I live in a little small one-story, right? Not a glamorous. I have a great friend who has really the size of this room is her closet. Amen, sister, to her, right? This is her Vegas stuff. This is her travel stuff. I mean, it's beautiful. It's like being in a little store. But that's her space. She can do that as she wish. For me, I only have so much space, which means that if I want to add something, I'm going to take it out, right? Take something out. So how much do you really need? And this could be in your office, your car, your home, anywhere where you accumulate. But let's talk about your home. Ask yourself, do I really need 47 drinking cups for the 2 of you, the 3 of you, the 4 of you, however many are in your household? And 31 plastic containers, right? There's only 5 days a week and a couple dinners, but how much do you need? Do I need to keep magazines I'll never read or read again, right?
Now I'm a pick on Christina on this one. So
It's true.
Christina had Oprah. She had the original
love
Oprah,
Oprah.
Subscription.
I did.
She had the first magazine. She had every Oprah magazine.
No time to read them.
And they were all under our bed in these little plastic bins for years.
Decade maybe.
A long time. And when she got rid of them, I knew this was real. I knew this was real.
So remember I talked about the closet clutter keeper? So on the outside, I looked clean, like some of these homes that we saw. But behind closed doors,
In
not
the
so
closets.
much. Don't open that closet. Wait, don't go in there. No, just don't look in that cabinet, right? There were spaces that I would be mortified if someone looked, especially under the bed. I had all these little, you know those bed storage containers? They're like just shallow enough to go under your bed. Oprah magazines, books I was never planning on reading, lots of clutter and stuff, just accumulating dust. One day I'll get to it. But remember when we talked about making priority for those things? I never made priority. I was never gonna read them, so let it go, right? So ask yourself, do I need 47 drinking cups for 31 plastic containers? We talked about that. Do I need to keep the magazines? Do I need to keep the clothes of different sizes? That was one that came up. So for my friends out there, I'm Sicilian. We got a big butts and thighs. I'm not talking about you, I'm just saying.
I'm talking about me.
We fluctuate, we like to eat, right? I like sweets, I like to eat, we like pasta, I mean, you name it. We're gonna change in size. When we keep sizes that are too small for the one day, do you think that is encouraging us or self-defeating? So, I celebrate anyone, of course, who wants to change and get healthier and lose weight wherever you are, right? But could we say that instead of hanging on to those old clothes that maybe fit us one day, that we could let them go? And when we accomplish that awesome goal, that our victory championship party celebration is going out and purchasing today's new clothes, that's your victory, right? Instead of every day walking in your closet, taking a precious real estate space, right? Of the clothes I can't wear and the clothes I wear every day, right? The clothes I'm not sure I'll ever get, have been here for 5 years or longer, right? and the clothes I wear every day. The clothes I hate, the clothes I wear every day, right? Now, instead, having a full closet of clothes that you enjoy, and then when the day comes, if the day comes, I always tell people, if you gain a little weight, you're happy. It's all good. But when the day comes, go out and celebrate, buy yourself something new, and go for it. Can we agree on that? The next one, if I could start all over with an empty space, how would you fill it? Cabinets are empty. Drawers are empty. Closets empty. What are you going to fill it with? Is it the same things you own today? Right? So we talked about the burning house. When we talk about thinking about starting over, God forbid, because I never want to wish a tragedy on anyone. But if we can visualize that, if we had to start over and all we had was the clothes on our back, the people we love, our happy little pets, and we were starting from scratch, is it the same amount of items that we have or the same items that we have today in all of our living spaces? And if not, maybe it's time to let those go. Free them up for things that you do enjoy. Yes? Are y'all still with me? All right. So am I keeping things I'll never use or I didn't even remember I had? You're giggling, but it happens all the time. I didn't know I had that. Oh my gosh. I'm going to wear that right now. No, I'm not. I mean, that's common. Saying,
I'll tell you what's frustrating is when you know you have something, but you don't remember where it is, and you can't get to it to use it. And then months go by, you might go buy another one, or you just give up the whole project, and then you run across it, and it's like way too late.
yes. It's like finding a pair of scissors. Where are the scissors, right? Where are this? Buy another pair of scissors, another stapler. And then, yeah, it's in the junk drawer. No! So, do I need to keep items for fear I may one day need them? That's a question. So if you haven't used them at this point, and it's been whatever amount of time, because what you keep is solely up to you. There's no magic rule for it. But if you're not going to use it, then it's time to let it go. So the best way to find out what we really need is to get rid of what we don't. Confession time. You do?
I bet Christina got you beat.
I read confession for them, not for me.
Tell them how many jeans you had.
So, you see, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. The best way to find out what we really need is to get rid of what we don't. So I did have the jeans. Anybody had a pile of something you never used or clothes you just never, I mean, was I speaking to you and I'm like, this is your stuff you never use? This is what I use every day. Or you repeat clothes and you got all this closet full of clothes, right? I did have a drawer full of jeans. And they were very well organized, I will say. Maybe like 5 or 6. I hate that you're here.
She had over 20. I think it was more like 30, but she says 20.
It wasn't 20. He counts double. The point is, I had jeans that I tired of wearing, never wore. I swear the spandex in jeans, they're shrinking. It's not me that's getting bigger. True story, when we first got married, I'm super confessing now, I'd never had like a weight gain. And I'm like, my jeans are not fitting. They are like shrinking. So I would wash them and hang them to dry because I'm like, they're shrinking. No, they weren't. So I had a collection of jeans that either I thought I liked, or really realized I didn't like, or they weren't the right color, or maybe they just tapered well, it just didn't work. Tired of them, bought a new pair, washed, I didn't get rid of any of them. And it was probably one of the heaviest drawers. And I had like 2 that I wore with all these 20 pairs of jeans. It wasn't 20, I'm just saying that.
It was 31.
But I think, such an exaggerator Puerto Ricans are. So it was time to get rid of it. I really only needed the 2. The 2 told me what I needed. Those were the 2 that I went to, or the 3, or the 4. Whatever you're wearing frequently, that it's telling you what you like in your closet, and the rest of it can go away. It's hard to think of. It's hard to believe, but it's true. So I'm going to give you 15 things you can discard right now. Are you ready?
Now, before we do that, I just want to
Please.
hold on one second. Is anybody dying to go to the restroom? Like, if we don't, we've got about probably 30 minutes left, 30 to 40 minutes left, and it might be easy to take a quick break. What do you think, Tony?
Yeah, why don't you guys stretch a little bit?
Quick.
The whole pipe.
Yes. No, you guys have been awesome. Thank you. I know it's a little bit warm. This part is going to slide real fast through it. We're going to leave you with some homework because that's really good, right?
Yes.
But I want to talk about what you can discard right now, okay? And the first thing you're going to discard are books. Not the books you love. Take out the top 3, top 5 books that you absolutely have read a million times, you love them, put them in a pile, go through all your books, compare them to that original pile, and let go of anything that you're never going to read again, not going to do. This guy has a library, and he dreamed of a library, and I want him to have a library. However,
I had a lot of books. And I had a lot of books that I never read. A lot of books that I didn't want to read, but I thought that I was going to get to reading it.
One day.
And she would always tell me, she's like, please just if you think you'll read it later, that's fine. She's like, but let's get rid of it and then go buy it later. We don't need to hold on to it because you're running out of room. We're running out of space. And I fought her on this. And one day after watching the Netflix, and we were talking in the back about that awesome Netflix show, one day after watching that, I went in and I started just going crazy. And I started piling books. And I went through this process of, does this book bring me joy? Do I really need this book and am I gonna read it? And I went through this whole process and I started getting rid of. So I had the pile that I loved and the pile that I didn't like. Now I finished this process, and then later that week, this is the picture that happened because Enzo this is our son, he has an insane amount of books. And he started going through and collecting all the books that he wanted to keep and making a pile of what he wanted. He started doing this on his own. We did not ask him to do this. He just started to do it. And so your kids, your family will join in. Just don't twist their arm to do it. Because part of this spark joy piece and part of this is that if you force someone to throw something away that they really, really love, if you've ever seen Hoarders, they freak out a little bit, right? So this process is slow, and thank goodness my wife, she really made sure to slowly kind of lead me along instead of beating me over the head of just get rid of your stuff. I say that for all the wives that are in the room. Don't beat your husbands over the head with this. Allow them to go through this process because they will come along with you. I did.
Oh, absolutely. It was a slow process. What's that? So Enzo actually made 2 boxes, and we gave him to Half Price Books, and he got, I think it was either $76 or $96 out of that, and he thought it was
cash.
Yeah,
Cash.
So we stuck around. I made him wait through the process because you drop him off and you wait while they evaluate him, and then he left with cash. He thought it was the greatest thing. He didn't know that in doing it, but later got the result of it. And I think that is important to know that for your spouse or whoever you're living with in your family, that they're going to see the result, and we're going to talk about one of the results that I can give you to go home with. But the result is what they're going to appreciate and go through that. Or watching the Netflix. Remember, I gave you permission to binge watch that this weekend. And it's motivating. You're like, okay, I got to clean up. Just like maybe hopefully today you think of a place that immediately you could give some relief to yourself and organize. So books, number 1. Number 2, reference materials and guides. I know you think you need them. But in today's world of a PDF online or customer service, they can get it to you. You're going to get your question answered. You can go ahead and liberate those and get rid of all your reference guides and material. Okay? Can we agree? Get rid of it. We know you're holding on to your old house refrigerator, right? Or your toaster oven that broke a long time ago, the second iron. We had a whole envelope of the previous home that we had, completely forgot about it, full of the reference material. So get rid of it. Papers. Some of you have got this. Go ahead, sift through those, get rid of this stuff. You really need 3 piles. And of course, consult with your CPA and attorney, because I am neither. But your permanent things, the things that you need, your will, anything, your executive state, attorney, blah, 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 that sounds really good, right? It's real professional. one pile for that, or envelope organizer that you need for that. The second is what you may need on hand, a semi-permanent, maybe a title to a car, maybe some important documents, and then one that is a pending file, a bill you have to pay, or a receipt that you're waiting 30, 60 days to make sure nothing breaks or nothing is going wrong with it. That's about all you need in a small little container, or a safe, if it's really important documents, however you protect them. You really don't need an office full of these kind of papers. For your client files, a little bit different, but really go through and make sure, do you really need all those, items? Number 4, gifts. We talked about that. Just go ahead and get rid of it. Discard. Number 5, samples. Whether you got them from a hotel, from the counter, at the mall, they expire. They're gross. Here comes my confession. Volunteer confession.
This young lady right here, we had more samples than you could ever imagine.
It's embarrassing.
You know the shampoos at hotels? Yeah. She was a collector.
I'm sorry.
She had bags full.
I might have a guest.
The lady would come in and she would want extra to take home. I was like, we already have some. She's like, but I want more. So we had tons of shampoo and conditioner.
It's true.
But when she got rid of those, I knew this was real.
It's true. I had special ways to even contain them because remember I like to organize. But I realized, number 1, they are gross over time. They don't have the same lasting. I'm not going to have that many guests. And to be honest with you, do you remember how many bedrooms we have? Raise your hand. Yeah. You guys are the best. Yeah. We have our bedroom, Enzo's bedroom. Is there any room for guests?
Nope.
On purpose. I will pay for your hotel. I don't want you staying here. Yeah. Why do I need them? I don't need them. So get rid of your samples. They're taking up precious real estate. Boxes for electronics. Who keeps them? Who keeps them when you got your 3rd phone and you still have the previous boxes?
Yeah. Oh, no way. In the box still? Oh, that's awesome. So this is my confession. I had to keep every box. And in the attic, we put them all. So I literally one day, we went into the attic and we started pulling out all the boxes. We filled the entire back of her X5 BMW with just piles of boxes from electronics that we had purchased over the years.
No. Don't.
Yeah,
What? Come back.
What? Yeah. Oh,
next one's
cords.
yours too.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do confession, might as well stay up here and go for it.
Yeah.
Unidentified cords.
Yeah, sorry. I don't want to throw them away. I might need that to charge something.
If you don't know what it goes to, you're probably never going to know what it goes to, okay? And you might not even have it anymore. So if you know it goes to something, marry them, partner them together, rubber band, however you do it, what's that called, zip tie, any of those things, bring them together, bring them home, yes? If it's to something, bring it to, otherwise get rid of it. You don't need the zombie apocalypse box of cords that nobody knows what it is, right? Can we agree? Yes?
Yeah.
Are you getting rid of all your cords? Yes. Next, broken appliances. Or you replaced appliance. You have a new blender. Where's the old blender? In the garage. Get rid of them. 9, spare sets of bedding. Who has more bedding than they have beds? It gets stale over time in your linen closet. Really, truly, if you were to assess, you probably only need a couple sets, 2 to 3, for each of the rooms, or even that, for switching out on a regular basis. And when they're old and tired, buy some new sheets. You don't need to keep a stock full of them for your precious real estate that you have in your home, which is your storage closets. Yes? Okay, that's great, but that's a purpose, and that's awesome. So if those are, yes, perfect. So those are purposed, right? But just to have them in a closet where you don't need them. So I love that, repurposing it. Spare buttons. You can go get rid of them. I actually had, so confession, a whole box full of spare buttons. When it was time to get rid of this, I did take out, there's a couple key expensive clothes that you're not going to change. For example, if you have a Brooks Brothers blazer, maybe that button's going to be a little bit more precious. Go ahead and sew that button onto the inside of whatever clothing that is so you can keep it when you need it, because most likely you don't even know that you even have that piece of clothing anymore. Or by the time the button falls off, it's probably done, it's had its day, or you're probably going to go replace the button because you might not even remember that you had the button. Yes? Get rid of the buttons. Health crazed products. You know you have a thigh master. If you're not using it today and you haven't used it for some time, discard it. Anybody want to confess anything? It's been a lot of it today, so just in case, I'll take it. Free swag. I'm so sorry, because in case you got free swag today, I just want to apologize. Some of it's awesome, and some of it you really, really love, right? Those jump drives or things that you really use, or the back of the phone that holds your card. I mean, there's some cool things that you use. Awesome. Keep it. Where you might keep it, you might not, and that's okay, right? To each his own. But if you're not going to keep it, don't store it. Just go ahead and liberate it. Get rid of it. Donate it. Give it to someone that thinks it's awesome.
Now, I have to tell you, my stepmom is a free swag queen. She will go to every booth, at every function. She will, at every race, she will ask for the extras. To this day, I don't know what she does with it. I don't know what she does with it all. But whenever we get free swag, I take it to her.
She puts it in Christmas gifts at Christmas time. I've already gotten some of it. Next one, spare change. Turn that into money, okay? This guy loves to keep spare change. But money, coins, they smell. So that's one thing, right? The metal, it does smell. And there's no point, if you're making a special savings, I get it. You could also do that electronically today, like in your account. You know, you just move it over from one account to the savings account. You don't have to have a spare change thing. You have one.
Well, I do, but I tell you why I save them, because my niece and nephew at Christmas, I give them a big jug of
Awesome.
It teaches them how to count.
I love
Yes.
it. I love it. Purpose,
That's awesome.
keeping, I love it. So if you've got something like that, keep it. It's purposed, like we were talking about before with the sheets. You've got intention with it, great. But if you're just keeping it and you changed from a little jar to one of those 5-gallon water, no. Put that money in your pocket. Yes, can we agree? Yeah. Unusual stockpiles. How many Q-tips can you go through in a year, right? And I know Costco and Sam's are the best. And for some things, it's purposed. But if you only live in, say, a 5,000 square foot house or a 2,500 square foot house, there's only so much space. So buying 24 rolls of paper towels may not be the best solution for you if you have nowhere to put it, right? So even though it means a savings, you have nowhere. And how long will it take for you to get through it? So really assess maybe stockpiles that you're having that take so long to get rid of. Go through it, because what I really want to say is get rid of it, right? Yes?
Everybody saves those little like old medicine bottles, and you got a little bit of shampoo in the shampoo bottles, and
Discard. All right. The space in which we live should be for the person we are becoming now, not for the person we were in the past. And I say this for the next one, because the next one is the hardest one, and that is sentimental items. Sentimental items are not bad. I have sentimental items. I didn't get rid of everything when we went through the process. And I have to tell you, after going through the process, which included a lot of what you saw today, I actually am bored now because I don't clean my house on Thanksgiving break and spring break. And I know, it's weird for me.
Yeah.
Oh! I thought that was for me.
You thought you were getting a round of applause.
That was for me. So
some aerodynamic experts here.
So I don't have the opportunity to go through that because once you've done it, everything that you're bringing into your home is intentional. It becomes intentional. Sentimental items have, do you need me? Oh, no. Sentimental items have a place in your life, but they should be contained to only so much space, right? Maybe a treasure box or what are those called? A trunk or something that fits. Not all over your house, right? Where it's taking over all of your space. Determine what those items are super precious. You'd be sad or you want to see them. And some of it, bring out into the open. Like we talked about the frogs. Enjoy it. Yes? Sentimental. Okay, now here we go. I got rid of this filing cabinet. It was in my garage. Do you think I used it for files? No. A couple files, right? 20 years I held on to this puppy. It zipped. And then I got rid of it. Why? Why do I need my wedding dress? I have no daughter. I know. I know. It was this big in a closet for 20 years, moved from place to place. I have no daughter to extend it to, right? And even if I had a daughter, do you think she wants my old wedding dress? No, she probably wants her own dress. Yes? I got rid of it. I'm not telling you to go get rid of your old, but think about the things that you're hanging on to, right? That could have another space or use for it. I did not get rid of him. I didn't. What's that?
She said if anybody's getting rid of their dress, talk to her. She wants
Okay,
lace.
there you go. So now you have a repurpose, for it. So it's not about minimalism, not buying or living with as little as possible. It really isn't. It is about being intentional, going back to probably your class before, and living with things which have meaning. Sorry, I'm zipping through because we got something we want to show you right before. So real quick, don't judge. I took this picture at the worst possible time. The bed wasn't made. We saw this in a Prada Homes, and we have a friend. Yes.
Is that so loud? Sorry. Can you guys?
No, I'm okay. Yes.
Okay,
No.
they can hear
Blow
you.
away.
Okay, sure.
Yes.
Okay,
Blow away.
okay.
I want you guys to be comfortable. This we got for like a steal of a deal. She's like, it's a $3,000 bed, and I found it. It's from Laredo. It's $330. Tomas and I are like, woo woo. It was so heavy. Just the end of the footboard took both of us like struggling, and we had it for like 15 years. I hated it. I didn't really like it. It wasn't my style. I didn't walk into my bedroom and go, ooh, I'm so happy. It was like a purpose. It was $300. That was the purpose. It was a bed, right? 15 years ago. So instead, I changed it to this. That's the bedroom I want to walk into. That's what means I didn't have to spend a lot of money, but that's the bedroom that I converted to. That's okay. It's okay to buy. This whole class wasn't to tell you, don't buy, get rid of everything, right? But surround yourself with what you want to see. And remember about, starting over again, what that looks like for you. So being intentional, have gratitude and respect for what you have. If you have it, use it. If you don't use it, don't have it. That's a great rule of thumb for you. Yes? And then have confidence to let things go and live without it in the future. So now we're going to do a quick demonstration. We're going to show you a result of one of the KonMari method, and that's folding. I'm going to show you real fast before Tomas is going to be my lovely quick assistant. And we're going to spend about 10 or 15 minutes, and then we've wrapped up. I gave you some homework on making a joy poster, should you choose. Some of you might even go home and clean out some closets and some clothes. I want to show you, I have 2 boxes here. This is, I try to make it clear so you could see it. This is a box full of the same contents as the next box. And this is probably a traditional way of folding, yes? Does it look like maybe what you do? Variation? As long as no one's offended, we're using child underwear today. This. This, minus these pants, is the same amount of items, exactly the same clothes. Sorry, the fan is making my nose run like a little toddler. Same amount of items, but I see exactly what it is, and I'm going to show you about the folding method today. We're just going to pretend that you live in a dorm room and you have one drawer for all of your items. But if you notice, not only did I get my items, I see everything and I have space. Same amount of contents, yes? Interesting. If you were to fold the KonMari method, it was interesting. Tomas's dad was like, teach me. He ended up having more drawers in his dresser that were empty. He's like, oh, I can bring these shirts that I've been storing in my closet. Yay. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Bring it into your, no.
Yep.
But do you see the visual? So we're gonna show you real quick how to fold. And that's what we're gonna spend the last 10 minutes. Are you gonna be my,
Ready.
oh, okay.
You're ready. Come over here on this side, baby.
Okay, sorry. Here we go. Woo-hoo. There we go. All right, can you see? Yes? Everybody can see it? Well, when Tomas moves, right? So, some of it I'm just going to show you like this. So, traditional pair of socks, yes? And all I did was I stacked the socks. I know nothing fancy. One of the things about folding is there's no exact method. It's about your drawer. So your drawer could be this deep or it could be half the depth, yes? Some of us have little small drawers, larger ones. Typically when you look at your drawers, you go from your wear, you know, the internal garments to the external all the way to pants, right? So these typically fit in those smaller drawers. One thing I found, my little demonstration, IKEA sells these super cheap, super awesome boxes in white or black, and they're a combination. I think you get like a whole set of them for like $5, and I love them. They're like a little vinyl material. They actually fit perfectly in an IKEA drawer, but they'll fit in anybody's drawer as long as it's this depth. And they're cube size, long size. So if you have a drawer that maybe you put some dress socks, sports socks, or maybe like, what are those called? Hidden socks. You know, you can kind of use the cubes to keep everything looking really nice when you open it. But the idea, like the demonstration we showed earlier, is to see everything. So when you get up in the morning, you literally open your drawer, like I'll take on this underwear, let me see that sock, right? Rather than all your clothes being squished and never really using the bottom clothes. You're just using the top 3 things and forgetting, and I remember hearing that earlier, I didn't even realize I had that, or I was looking for that shirt. And this way of folding, we can actually see everything we have, and it makes getting ready super easy. So you have your sock. Depending on your drawer, I'm either gonna fold it like this to keep it thin and tall, right? When you start this process, usually what I do is you're gonna have to manipulate. You hold your stuff until everything kind of holds it together. Does that make sense? But if I had more space and needed to be shorter, then I might take the same sock, fold it in thirds and fold it like this. If I have even more space, am I confusing you? I might fold it twice, and then it's going to, let me make it perfect. The idea in the KonMari method, oops, am I blocking with that? Thank you, lovely assistant, is in a drawer, everything stands. And it typically stands by itself if you folded it correct, yes? Yeah, it's never gonna be by itself, okay? But it's when you remove something from your drawer, because you took that one sock, the rest of it's not necessarily just gonna pile over. It's pretty much gonna stay put.
And
So,
the view, if you look at it, this is your drawer. If you're looking at it, that's the idea is you can see everything.
you're just looking. Can everybody in the back kind of see that? So you're just looking, and then I'm going, oh, look, I want that sock. Oh, you know what? I don't want that sock. Let me put it back. I need a dress sock today. I want that one, right? And then you're putting it back. But the idea is to see everything all together. So we're gonna go through my sport socks, ankle socks, right? Can you see that? Just stack it on top. I'm gonna fold it once, and it's gonna stand for me, sorta. Don't judge. Awkwardly stand. It's got no thing.
Now, for me, this was a big deal. I have to tell you, because anybody a runner, run with nice socks, like the Brooks or the featured socks? Well, what I was doing is I was constantly balling them, and the more that I would ball them, what do you think happens? They're all stretched out. Now my socks are lasting longer, because now when we do it this way and we line them up, all we're doing is folding them, and so now I don't have that issue where the elastic is dying after, a couple of months. So I can have it last, the sock last a lot longer.
No-show socks, right? I just take the sock, stick it in the other, make a little boat out of it. It's not overstretching the elastic like Tomas was mentioning, because that whole, system over time, the wear. And then I'm just folding it, and I'm putting it in, in its drawer. Yes? And then I see every single sock. So when it's time and I was like, oh, I need pink. Doop, doop, done. Yes? Are you enjoying it? Underwear. This is why we have kids. His recreational panties. So there's a couple variations of doing this. So you're going to take the bottom to the top, over, and because we have bigger underwear, right? It's gonna actually fold one more time like a little burrito and stand. Can you see that? So all of your, and then if you really want to get crazy and OCD, you can go from light to dark.
She does it.
Gentleman underwear. I mean, little boy underwear. So, one thing to keep, oh, yes. Can we scoot the screen?
The screen? It's like this?
Hey, sorry.
No problem. Thank you for telling me.
So, just over. Now, depending on the depth of your drawer and the ability for the thickness, because remember, if I don't have very much room, do I want to have really thick clothes? No, I want to fold one time, right? But if I can go higher, then I'm going to, if I can go more room, then I might want to do a second fold, just like that. And then it's going to sit. Ta-da! Yes? So, I personally do not fold standing with a table. I just don't have that much real estate in my house. So I want to show you the last thing, which is a t-shirt. The t-shirt's tricky because everybody has their way of folding, yes? First, I'm going to show you the KonMari method of folding in thirds and a stand-up shirt, and then I'm going to show you a modified version of what we do because I don't use a tabletop, okay? And let me see if I can get this all on camera for you. So laying your shirt out, you're just going to go in a third, kind of like they do, I guess, at the store, with the sleeve folded back, together with the sleeve folded back. You're going to take the bottom and go to the top, just short of the top. Then, depending on the thickness of your drawer and what we talked about, you might fold it once and then twice, and then that would make your little, KonMari fold. Oh no, stand up, okay? Come here. So, for us, I don't fold with a nice, cute surface. I want to show you the Tomas and Christina modified version, which actually, it leaves it a little less wrinkled in our opinion, I guess, but we fold very fast, right? We don't got time for this. Who wants to hang out and do laundry? And I'm so sorry that I have my booty too. Okay, good. So we're gonna fold in half, and then fold one more time in half, right? We're gonna take the sleeve in, fold one more time. Now, if the depth of your drawer was like my little box, you might be able to do that. For Tomas's t-shirts, he has a shallow drawer, so I'm gonna go one more time.